All right, guys. So we are going to be doing a little order here. We have our wristlet keychain along with our lip balm holder keychain. And then we are doing a makeup pouch. So the first thing that we are going to start with is obviously we have our print here. And this is just printed on Maker Flow's 8.5 by 11 sublimation paper. Let me actually. We don't even have to trim it at all. Because like I said, we're not. Yeah. We will just do it with scissors. I think we'll be okay. Just let me put this guy back. Okay. Because we're taping, we're going to have an overlap anyway. So I'm not super worried about it. This is going to be another set that we're going to be doing later. This is the set that I'm doing now. Okay. Okay, let's kind of make sure that I'm on the frame here. Okay. I think that should be good for now. So we are doing, we're going to do 2 of the Valentine's Day Sweets collection. This is our heart cookies. I know they kind of look like sweethearts. The candy, I don't know if you guys can kind of see that very well. They're actually, because it's a little bit dull. It's on sublimation paper, so it's going to print a little bit dull. But they're cookies, kind of like the royal icing. It's a bunch of those. So, pretty cool. We're going to be doing 2 sets of those. So, first things first, I want to go ahead. I am using my Maker Flow mini press here. So, I am just going to, I guess also might help if I am plugged in. Let me go ahead and do that. All right. So for our prints, our wristlets, they're neoprene, and our lip balm holders are also neoprene. These are going to press at 375 for 40 seconds. I may do 45 seconds just to make sure all the ink has transferred. And then for our makeup pouch, we're also going to do 375, and we're going to do 60 seconds. Now, if I were doing an all over print, I'd probably do something a little bit higher heat. And then the way that I prepare it would be a little bit different. I would turn it inside out, press it to kind of pre-shrink it a little bit. Like, these are sublimatable makeup pouches, but they're not very square. There's a little bit of extra fabric, so that just kind of helps it keep its shape, and I think it just presses better. So we're going to go ahead and take our heat press. We're going to go to 375, and then the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to press out our neoprene for about 30 seconds prior to, it really just depends. If you guys are doing this at home, and you're just getting started, one of the things that I will tell you is pre-pressing really does help. It kind of helps remove any of the moisture that might be in the blank, etc. So we are going to do a 10-second pre-press. I said 30. 30 would be, it would just really depend on your blank. Most of the time you're going to have some instructions on whether or not you really need to be doing that. But in this case, we're going to pre-press for 10 seconds at 375 at the temperature it's going to be. And I'm going to move this guy over here. And what we're going to do first is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but let me get these moved out of the way here. We're going to be using a silicone mat here. It is heat resistant. I definitely recommend it. Let me get this over. Okay. I'm going to move all the rest of this over. Y'all just, again, kind of bear with me. All right. Now, anytime you're doing sublimation, you guys will always hear me say this, make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. You do not want to be inhaling the fumes. You can't tell, but my window is that way. I have a fan going, so, and it is actually very, very cold outside, so I'm wearing, I'm wearing my sweater. I'm in the DFW area, and this weekend and in through the week, our lows at night are in the 20s, so it is a little chilly outside with the window open especially. So we are still heating up. I'll probably actually move this over a little bit so you can see it just a little bit better. We're at 285. It is still heating up. So I think I'm going to use a pressing pad as well. I've got a couple of sizes here. This just kind of helps give a little bit of stability. I don't want to necessarily press directly on the silicone mat. I know some people do. I just want to kind of protect my investment here. I also am grabbing some cardstock. Well, I thought this was cardstock. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Cardstock on top, regular paper on the bottom. So let me set that to the side. So I do have some actual cardstock here. You can see over here I have my roll of parchment paper. I do have some parchment paper here. It's really up to you. I think I use parchment paper and cardstock in different on different blanks, on different items, mainly because I feel like it helps protect it better, maybe gives it a little bit more stability during the press. And these are my pressing pads. So these I just got off Amazon, came in a pack. I use them when I'm doing t-shirts. As you can see, they're basically just kind of like a spongy pad on the inside, literally stitched inside a Teflon sheet. Like that's all it is. But again, it adds a little bit of stability. It is 100% heat resistant. And I still don't want, if there is any blowout, some people just use these or just use Teflon sheets. I don't want to have to clean it. So I'd rather just go ahead and protect it. So we're at 375. And we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and start with our makeup pouch. So first things first, I'm going to take my lint roller. Oops. Actually, which way do I want this? I want the zipper on the left. I do. I think I want the zipper on the left. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lint roll this. A lot of people ask, why are you lint rolling? Well, you're sublimating on an item. And basically, the way that works is that the ink from your paper needs to meet the fibers. And if you have any lint or anything in between, and that lint is going to come off after you're done pressing, you're going to have spots where the ink didn't infuse into the fibers, into the material. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a piece of cardstock, just white cardstock. This is what I will also use for my blowout paper. But just so you guys can see, I'm going to press it. There's the zipper. I'm going to leave that out of it. I'm just going to kind of press it with about medium to light heat. Pressure, excuse me. Okay. So now that I've done that, that is a little warm. But now we have a good place to go ahead and set our design. So I am going to go ahead and grab our print here. It says, "Books are my love language." And we're going to center that. I think that looks pretty good. And we're just going to use couple pieces of heat transfer tape. And I like to be safe rather than sorry. So sometimes I may go a little overboard on the tape, but I just want to make sure that there's not going to be any movement. Okay. So since this isn't an overall print, there's a lot of white space in it. I'm actually going to, I'm actually going to go ahead and just use this paper that I used to pre-press. We're just going to set it right there. I am going to go ahead and use another piece of cardstock. It's blowout paper on the top. I don't think we're going to really have to worry about it too much. Okay. And for this one, we are going to press for 60 seconds. I'm going to do 65. Just because I'm not using a traditional heat press. So here we go. And we're going to set this down. And then I'm going to hit start. And I also want to make sure that I am covering my entire image. I do believe I am. And this is light to medium pressure, so I'm kind of just holding on to it here. I do have my heat glove around here somewhere, but I wanted to be able to maneuver this if I needed to. So I will put my heat gloves on whenever this comes off before I handle it. Definitely can tell you, after doing a craft day with some really hot glue guns this past weekend, I don't know if you guys can tell, I know my nails need to be redone, but I have like a blister from the heat. Yeah. So again, it called for 60 seconds. I'm going to kind of do a full 65. And then I'm just going to kind of make sure that looks like it pressed pretty good. Okay. Oh, I can tell right now we had some ghosting. And it looks like there may have been a little bit of shrinkage. As you guys can kind of see, probably a little bit of shrinkage on the pouch. So let's grab a glove. I definitely may have to pre-shrink this. I didn't think it would be too big of a deal, but I don't know if you guys can see down here on the bottom. Yeah, we definitely have some ghosting on here. And this is and I think a lot of this is going to be due to the the shrinkage of the pouch. Beautiful colors though. Okay, so I will definitely have to redo that one, but you guys can kind of see how that is done. This is my first time using this particular blank, and this, again, I'm doing a lot of trial and error here with some of these. So now we know we definitely will pre-shrink, even if it's not going to be an all-over press. So I don't know if you guys can actually see that. There is a little bit of blowout that came through. Kind of see. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on to our neoprene. Let's see. Now with this, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do about a 10-second press. Oh, and you know what I didn't do? Which is fine. We'll press the back. And then, I didn't think about it. Actually, you know what? Kind of how cute would that be if we did this on one side and this on the other? You know what? We'll do that. And then I will see how my customer likes it. Okay. Okay, so we're still at 375 here. So I'm just going to do a quick 10-second press. And now you guys can see, especially with the neoprene, see how it kind of expands a little bit? That is just one of the things that does end up happening with neoprene in general. It takes sublimation really well, but you just have to be very extremely diligent in your pressing, and making sure that you are doing what you need. Maybe sometimes it might take a little bit extra. Let's see. Okay. I think that looks good. So I've lined up where I believe I want this print. Now the good thing about this print, again, is the fact that there's a lot of white space on here. So, oh no. I didn't realize my other tape was going to come through there. So we're just going to do... I do not want there to be any movement whatsoever here. So no movement. Did you guys see that? You know what? I'm gonna just do, again, just to kind of be on the safe side. Okay, I'm going to grab my other piece here, and we're doing this for 60 seconds. I'm sorry, 40 seconds. So let me change my timer, and again, I'm probably going to do about 45. Okay. 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 And I'm going to just kind of hold this. I am doing about medium pressure here. because the neoprene can expand, I don't want there to be any ghosting, any shifting. So I want to try to keep the paper as flush and tight up against that blank as possible. I'm going to give it just a couple more seconds, I think. Okay. Right. Let me grab my heat glove. Curious to see if we can... Oh, I think that actually turned out really nice. So we're going to set this to the side and let it cool off for a moment. All right. And because I do have some blowout and some staining on my paper, I'm going to go ahead and move that. And you know what, if you guys, let's go ahead and show you on with some parchment paper here. Same concept. I've had people ask about it, so I will go ahead. You know what I didn't do on that neoprene? I think we're okay because the majority of it is white, but I did not actually do a lint roll on it. So there we go. And here we're going to do just a quick 10-second press. Just gonna okay. And for this one, since we went ahead and did the other one with the fortune cookie, let's go ahead and press this side with the cookie hearts. Make sure that I have the entire length of the keychain covered. And again, I'm going to kind of press this as flat as possible up against here, and I'm going to tape it down. I'm going to use a lot of tape. Probably go a little bit overboard, but neoprene expands. I do not want there to be any shifting. This. And do one, oops, one on the top for good measure. I know, guys, I know. I just don't want there to be any shifting, any ghosting. Okay. So now that we are on, let's go ahead and pop this over. And again, whenever you are doing this, make sure that you have your press all the way over your blank. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And I'm using a medium pressure here. The one thing that you will need to be careful of is with these presses, especially depending on how wide your blank is. See how I'm kind of wobbling? That can also cause some movement and some shifting. So I want to try to be as still as possible and keep that pressure right over that blank. Neoprene, again, it expands, but it's also a little thick. So I am not completely centered on here. And I can tell because I can wobble. So I'm going to just wait a couple more seconds. Okay. Grab a sip of water. Okay. I think that did really well too. So we're going to set this one to the side. We're going to let it cool off. This is a little hot itself. But let's go ahead and take a look at our keychain holder. Oh yes, that turned out really cute. See, we have our little hearts.
Not too shabby. Thanks for asking.
Well, apparently, SIRI thought I was talking to her. But yeah, we have our fortune cookies. We have our waffle cones. Yeah, that turned out really nice. So we're going to toss that. And let's see. Go ahead and take a look at this one. Oh, look how cute. She turned out beautifully. Cool. And then on here, on the back, we will do our other print. I am going to still use the parchment paper. I'm just going to go ahead and use the parchment paper for both. Just going to kind of cut a little bit of this off, because one of the things when you're using blowout paper, and one of the main reasons why you don't want to reuse it, is because if you have any ink blowout, see, I don't know if you guys can tell, there's a little bit of ink right here on the side where it came out. I don't want that to reheat and retransfer onto the next press, right? So I'm going to kind of cut this off, and then I'm going to save as much as possible. And if I'm doing a smaller item, like a pair of earrings or another small piece like this, then we can use the same paper. And actually, I bet we could do right there. We sure can. All right. So let's go ahead and do our other side here. We're going to do the cookies on the other side of this piece. And this time we are going to go ahead and lint roll. We did not lint roll the other side. And I think it's okay, if I'm being completely honest. There might be a couple spots. Neoprene isn't as bad as some other fabrics, but if there's like dust or something on it, it's going to block that ink from getting through. So, all right. So I know we pre-pressed it, but I do want to go ahead and repress it again for about 10 seconds on this side, just in case it has reabsorbed any moisture, etc. We'll let it expand a little bit, and that way we can go ahead and press while it's still kind of in an expanded state, so we don't end up having what happened with our makeup pouch. It's actually a very good problem to catch on camera. So I'm just gonna kind of trim this up a little bit. Okay. Right. do want to move this over. Make sure that I hit both the top and the bottom. We want this to be nice and flat up against our blank. So yes, I know, might be going a bit overboard, but I'd rather that than some additional ghosting and then have to redo it, right? Okay, so let me just push this back over. All right, and we're gonna do another 45 seconds. This time I'm gonna try to center this up just a bit more. Okay, and there we go. Quick and easy. And when you're doing these in batches, if I were doing these in batches, I would use my 15 by 15. I have a manual heat press, and you guys will see some orders with that here soon. I know I mentioned that craft day to you guys from this past weekend. I will be doing some of their troop shirts, so big shout out to them, and we're going to get a video going and kind of do the whole process together. Okay, and then I'm just gonna hold it here, put a little bit more pressure, make sure we got everything. Okay, I think we're good. And then I'm going to, and this is very hot, this tape will come right off of this Teflon sheet. And then I'm gonna set it to the side and let it cool here for just a moment. And then we're gonna do the same thing for our wristlet. Okay, we're going to do a quick roll. I am going to do another pre-press. Let's do it this way so you guys can see it. Right, and here, make sure I cover the whole thing. I'm going to start in the middle and kind of push down, put some weight behind it, some pressure behind it. This way I know that it's not going to go anywhere, just because I'm paranoid. Okay. Put more weights here. I think we're good. Okay. Again, I'm going to center my pressure. And we'll start. You guys can hear the parchment paper flapping in the wind from the fan and the window being open. Okay, almost done. We'll go to another kind of quick push. All right. I think that one took very well too. Let's go ahead and grab that. Let it cool over here on our other Teflon pan. Okay, let's take a look. Cute. Voila. So then from here, we just go ahead and take our keychain. And there we go. One side with the fortune cookies and the other side with our royal icing cookies. So there's our lip balm holder. And now let's take a look at our wristlet. Good enough. Oh, adorable. One side with our fortune cookies and the other side with our cookie, royal icing cookies. And then we'll do the same for this one. All right, y'all. And there we have it. And again, we will, I will definitely be doing, because you guys can kind of see, whenever it lies flat, you can see how it's kind of curled up here. It definitely shrink a little bit with the heat. So essentially, and again, I didn't think it would do that or that it would really matter all that much. But if you take them and you fold them inside out, like I'm doing here, where they're a little bit more squared up because of how they're sewn, and then pre-press with the same temperature that you're going to press, it'll shrink it up a little bit and will prevent, see, like it looks pretty good here. It still goes to a little bit, but yeah, I think once we get this pre-shrunk a little bit, I think we'll be good. Well, guys, let me know if there's anything in particular that you guys want to see. I will have more behind the scenes content coming soon. We will be putting up a tour of the craft space where all the magic happens, I guess. And yeah. But for now, y'all have a great day, and we'll see you soon.